Hi, boys and girls. Today I'm going to be reading the story 2030, A Day in the Life of Tomorrow's Kids, written by Amy Zuckerman and James Daly, and it is illustrated by John Manders. So this story is going to be about the year 2030, which we are in 2020, which is 10 years from now. And our little preview here says things change. New technology, different tastes, and world events can alter how we live. So, what will our world be like in the future? Come take a look at how a kid's life might be different in the year 2030. Inspired by trends and scientific research, this book is not only a peek at some cool future gadgets, talking dog collars, cars that drive themselves, but also a chance to see how a changing environment might affect our lives. So, although this is a made up story, it is based on facts that they learned from researchers and scientists and engineers, and that's how they've made their predictions for what might happen in 2030. Things change. It happens every day. You turn on the TV, and before long, there will be a commercial for something new and improved. Car styles change, clothing styles change, all because people and their tastes change. If you ask your parents what life was like when they were kids, you might be surprised to hear that they didn't have many of the things you enjoy today. No cell phones, computers, or DVDs. Some never had VCRs. Ask your grandparents about their childhoods, and you'll learn that some didn't even have TV. They listened to programs on the radio, and their imaginations provided the pictures. Every day, scientists, engineers, and other people with big imaginations come up with new ideas that change our lives. Before you know it, one of their inventions might appear in your home or school. What will a kid's life be like many years from now? What sort of inventions will change kids' daily lives? No one can predict exactly what is going to happen next, but by looking at our world today and asking some very smart scientists, engineers, and futurists, we come up with a credible idea of what life might be like in the future. So buckle your seatbelt and get ready. It's time to take a trip in the year 2030. Okay, so we can see there. Morning light splashes into your bedroom as you wake up. You yawn and stretch, then notice an orange glow coming from the glass ball that sits on your night table. Someone is trying to reach you on the data orb. Oomph! Your dog Willie jumps on you, barks once, and then says in perfect English that he wants to go for a walk. Willie isn't really talking. What you hear is a voice synthesizer attached to his collar. This little computer translates his barks and body movements into simple words and phrases that tell you when he is hungry, playful, or just wants some company. Time to get dressed. Your clothes may not look much different from the clothes of today, but they do things that today's jeans and jackets can't do. Tiny solar discs are woven right into the material, store sunlight, and turn into electricity, enough to run all of your portable electronic gadgets and games. So solar discs that will power all of your electronic devices. Turning off Willie's speaker so you don't have to listen to him, you reach back to your data orb. An image starts taking shape. It's your friend's face looking at you. Remember the witch's crystal ball in the Wizard of Oz? Don't forget to meet me at the skateboard park this afternoon, he says. The data orb is one of the ways you stay in touch with people in the year 2030. It transmits and receives three-dimensional images from all over the world. So you can see what your friend is doing, what's going on in the neighborhood, or even what's happening at school. Yes, there's still school in 2030. Clothes made of special plastic conductive fibers can collect and conduct static electricity, like the spark you create when you walk across a rug. In cold weather, these fibers turn dark to collect the sun's warmth, and when it's hot, they turn lighter in color to reflect sunlight away from you. That means less sweating and shivering. So you have a data orb that tells your friend, you can see your friends, and then your clothes actually have special stuff on there that helps to absorb heat, keep you cold, or keep you warm. Making breakfast is easy in 2030 because smart appliances, things like toasters and microwaves, can sense the world around them through sounds, wave, and body heat. These devices use a special computer language and wireless signals to send messages back and forth. You want your toast golden brown and eggs over easy? No problem. Everything's ready when you come down to breakfast. Beep, 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 beep. That's Cleanerella, your house cleaning robot. It can move around the house and do simple tasks like vacuuming and dusting. House cleaning robots use artificial intelligence, computer programs that give them the ability to make decisions, just like people. Tiny sensors embedded in Cleanerella's cover transmit infrared light beams that bounce off to keep it from bumping into furniture or running over objects. Dad's already downstairs in his office. Like many workers in 2030, he runs a home-based business using the internet, which allows people to live and work at the same place. Working out of home saves companies the cost of maintaining big buildings that use electricity, heat, and air conditioning. It also cuts down on pollution because people don't have to drive their cars to work. The world does not look very different. There are houses and trees, and the sky is still blue, but somehow it isn't the same. For one thing, there are more kids. In 2030, there are over 6 million more elementary school kids in the United States. That means for every 5 kids there are today, there is an extra one. Time to get a bigger school bus. There are many more adults too. In the United States alone, there are over 500 million people. Many of them are senior citizens. The odds of you celebrating someone's 100th birthday are 3 times greater than they were 30 years ago. Because the population is aging, there is a need for more healthcare professionals. Mom's a physical therapist who works with older people at a retirement center a few blocks away. She helps them perform exercises so they can move easier and feel better. Most people live in suburbs outside the cities, in areas called cluster developments. These are houses and apartments that are connected to a common yard or playground. The development in which you live is also called an eco-village. Everything in your eco-village, from the materials used to build the houses to the way the lawn is maintained, is good for the earth. The water you use to wash your hands is filtered and then recycled to grow plants. The sun's rays are collected through solar discs that are built into roofs and then converted into electricity to light and cool homes. Large turbines turn wind energy into electricity, and even garbage is reused to help grow flowers and vegetables. Before long, you arrive at school. The building looks normal, but the way it's made is different. The materials used aren't wood, steel, or even plain concrete. They're special plasticized concrete blocks with built-in wiring and plumbing. They snap together just like toy bricks. You can even move the walls around to change the shape of a room. On the surface of the building and windows is a thin coating of cells that collects energy to help control the building's temperature. Just like the fibers in your clothing, the building surface becomes dark when it's cloudy and light when it's sunny. In social studies class, your teacher asks you to find an article on your computer about Central Africa. By 2030, the web has become so enormous that you need a tool called a personal agent to help you. This human-like three-dimensional figure asks you all sorts of questions and then gets you just what you need, sort of like your very own butler. Your teacher announces that it's time for a trip to ancient Egypt, in northern Africa. The room darkens and screens drop down from the ceiling. Suddenly, pyramids appear from all sides. It seems like you can walk up and touch them. These are giant holograms, special photographs made with the aid of a laser. When a hologram is lit in just the right way, a three-dimensional image appears. By 2030, individual holographic images can be projected so rapidly that they appear to move. That's why you and your classmates feel as though you're traveling through the Egyptian desert and not just watching a movie. You learn that there are almost 800 million people living in or around the cities of Africa. That's almost the same number of people living in all of Africa at the beginning of the 21st century. Because so many people move to the cities looking for jobs, there's not enough food or shelter to support the population. Many of them are young because a terrible disease killed so many adults in Central Africa during the early part of the century. Tomorrow, you'll bring in some dried food for the class collection for the United Nations African Relief Fund. There's the holograms in the classroom. The class down the hall is in the Multimedia Production and Research Center. The students are learning how to use a high-resolution display screen that creates clear pictures from both the front and the back. On the screen, you can combine pictures, words, and video just by talking into the computer. The kids are creating special video presentations of their families. Many of them have relatives all over the world because in 2020, it's common for people from different countries and ethnicities to marry. One girl goes online to China and asks her dad's sister to say a few words she can record. Then she reaches her mom's cousin in the Dominican Republic, who agrees to transmit some video clips and native music. When the teacher signals, she pushes the present button and the room is filled with pictures and sounds. The bell rings for recess. You go straight to virtual batting practice in the gym and pick up a plastic bat and a virtual reality headset. When you put on the headset, you feel as though you've stepped right onto the baseball field. It's a clear day, and the other players are waiting for you. Whoosh! The first pitch is a curve. You swing and miss. Whoosh again. This time it's high and fast. Crack! You knock a single right up the middle. Tired of batting practice? There's still time to join a bunch of kids on the smart trampoline. It looks like a regular trampoline, but there are hundreds of tiny electronic sensors woven into the material that instantly measure the weight, bounce, and strength of each jumper. The surface changes from loose to firm to give the best jumps possible. Everyone's bouncing at different heights and speeds. It's just like flying. Some kids are practicing skiing moves over at the virtual ski area. You strap yourself into the ski machine, which moves up and down and from side to side to mimic the shape of a mountain. The machine will let you know when you're off balance without letting you fall. That last bump sure felt rough, though. Ba-ding! The bell rings and it's time for lunch. In 2030, food can be altered so that your brain thinks that even the foods you hate to eat, like Brussels sprouts, taste delicious. That's because scientists have discovered the part of your brain that controls taste and flavors, so you'll be happy to eat healthy things. On your tray is a tofu burger that tastes like a real hamburger. Your soy drink look and taste like double chocolate shake at the ice cream shop, and your broccoli spears look and taste just like French fries. Bloop, bleep, bloop. That's your watch reminding you to beam your health information to the doctor's office for your appointment on Saturday. Push a button and the health gauge on your watch automatically sends information on blood pressure, body temperature, and even your feelings directly to your doctor's office. Wouldn't it be great if you never had to visit the doctor? Sorry, but you can't get out of visiting in person. The doctor needs to upgrade your disease-fighting robots. These almost invisible mechanical robots with mini computer brains are injected into your body to fight diseases. They look like specks of dust on your hand, but they are powerful. They fight nasty colds by slowly releasing medicine and vitamins. At the end of the school day, Grandma picks you up in her automated car. You're off to the mall to shop for clothes. Most cars in 2030 are equipped with eco-friendly fuels that reduce pollution and a satellite-controlled global positioning system, GPS, that talks to smart roadways. Traffic signals sense your approaching car, and there is no traffic coming from the other direction. They turn green automatically. The same technology can also control your car's movement and get you to your destination without ever touching a steering wheel. Almost everything you can buy can be ordered on the web at home, but it's still fun to go to the mall, which is the size of a small town. There are moving tracks so you don't have to walk the long distances from shop to shop, and all sorts of streaming web hologram advertisements line the walls. It's almost like visiting an amusement park. At the clothing center, you provide your size and the clerk conducts a computer search of all the stores in the mall, over 1,000 of them, to find what you want. But for that special outfit for your cousin's wedding, he suggests the customized clothing shop on level 22. At the shop, a clerk uses a handheld scanner to direct infrared beams at you to determine your exact measurements in seconds. This information is fed into a computer that creates a three-dimensional image of your body. You can dress the computer model in any style of clothing you want. The fabric, color, and even buttons and zippers are your choice. We'll deliver it to you by Saturday, the salesperson says with a smile. Home, finally. Grabbing some peanut butter crackers, you take off to meet some buddies at the skateboard park. Once you're inside, a friend lets you try some kick flips on his smart, magnetized skateboard. Amazing. It hovers over the ground just like a magic carpet. Okay, maybe you're just a couple feet off the ground, but you'll feel like you're flying. Think of the awesome moves you can do. Hold two magnets apart, then bring one close to the other. One side is drawn toward the first magnet, but when you flip the magnet around, the other side is pushed away or repelled. That is how the smart skateboard works. Powerful magnets are placed under the floor to create a force field that actually pushes your board into the air. Lean forward and you're on your way. Lightweight stabilizers keep your board steady, and embedded sensors keep you from crashing into things. Cool. After the park, it's back home. Do your homework and then eat. You wait to finish dinner so you can go to the Eco Village's Fanta Trek Center. That's a special room outfitted with three-dimensional videos, plus touch and smell technologies, so you feel like you have entered a fantasy world. Tonight's program is A Return to the Dinosaurs. Once you enter, you feel like you're in prehistoric times. You see the landscape and even smell the warm, humid earth of millions of years ago. To your right, baby dinosaurs are cracking out of their eggs, and over yonder are two raptors fighting it out by a stream. It's late when you return home. You don't even complain when mom and dad tell you it's time for bed. It sure has been a busy day in 2030. Your toothbrush contains toothpaste that squirts right into your mouth, which makes the whole brushing thing a little less messy. Yawning, you toss on some pajamas and slip under the covers. Your data orb reminds you that it is almost time to go to sleep, so before you turn out the lights, you decide to reach for your favorite type of entertainment. It's light and easy to handle. The insides are soft and perfect for viewing, and it has provided kids and adults entertainment for many centuries. You drift off to sleep. Reading a book. All right, so no matter how advanced technology gets, we always have our classic luxury of reading a book, right, and holding it in our hands. So I hope you enjoyed 2030, and we'll be talking a little bit more about this in our next meeting. Bye.